Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. So in today's video, as you can probably tell from the title, I'm going to be building a base game and seasons house. So the other day I was on Twitter, and basically I want to start building some more houses that more people can download, because I appreciate that not everyone has the packs and all that kind of stuff, and so I want to start building stuff that more people can download. And so I decided that I wanted to do a base game plus expansion pack kind of build, because I think anyway, I'm not like completely sure on this, but I think expansion packs are the most popular packs that people have because they're the bigger packs. Like, someone's more likely to buy City Living than they are, let's say, like, I don't know, Spa Day, that kind of thing. So I thought I want to do a base game and an expansion pack. And so I was on Twitter, and then I tweeted, like, I did a poll kind of thing on Twitter, and I said, what would you rather see me do? A base game and seasons, a base game cats and dogs, a base game seasons and cats and dogs, or a base game and get together? And I chose them ones because I knew I didn't want to do an apartment, so I left City Living out of it. And I chose cats and dogs and seasons because they are my two favourite packs. Like, I have a hard time choosing which one is my favourite because I absolutely love cats and dogs. The furniture in the game is absolutely stunning, but I absolutely love seasons because I feel like it's the pack that affects your gameplay the most, because it literally affects every single world at all seasons kind of thing. And so I tweeted it, and I was actually thinking that cats and dogs might win, because I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure when Sim Guru Lisa, I was about to call her Sim Guru Lisa, Sim Guru Lindsay, I don't know why I said Lisa, but okay. She did a thing on Twitter where she basically announced which packs were the most popular ones due to like people buying them and all that kind of stuff. And I'm pretty sure that cats and dogs won. And so I was quite surprised when the poll ended and the results were seasons. And so I'm just building a base game and seasons house, and I actually love this house. So I am doing a save file. If you're new to my channel and you haven't seen my videos before or anything like that, I am currently doing a save file. I mean, it's in process, gonna take some time, but I am getting there. But I wasn't actually planning on putting this house in my save file. It was just something that more people could download and enjoy and all that kind of stuff, because my save file isn't going to be just to certain packs. I'm not going to restrict myself. But I actually love this house, and I'm going to put it in my save file. It's one of my favourite houses I've done recently. I just really, really love it, and I'm building it on the lot in Willow Creek. So this lot is opposite the Goth household, which that kind of little, there's 4 lots where the Goth household are. So there's the Goth household, and then there's 3 empty lots. I don't actually ever build there. I don't think I've actually done a build on my channel since I've had my channel. Like, I just don't build there, and I don't know why, because there are actually some really nice lots, but I just never tend to build here. And so I built it on the one that's opposite the Goth household, but on the left hand side, not straight opposite. And I think it blends in really, really nicely with the world. On the world map, it's like the same height as them ones and all that, because I think that was my problem. I think I've tried to build in this lot, like this kind of little neighbourhood before, but whatever I built just wasn't tall enough, and it just didn't really match the remaining like the surrounding buildings. I can't actually speak today. The surrounding buildings, but this one looks really, really nice from the map view, and it just kind of blends in. And I think I'm going to kind of do this like suburban kind of feel for that little part of the neighbourhood, but this is definitely staying in my save file. I just really, really love this house, and I use a style of kind of furniture that I don't often use. And I think that's because a lot of base game furniture is very traditional, and I tend to go for more like not traditional. I wouldn't say like modern all the time, because I don't build modern houses all the time. I just don't really use the base game furniture a lot, and a lot of the base game furniture is this kind of traditional kind of style, and I used it a lot, and I just absolutely love it. And so definitely going to be in my save file for the last time. But the inside of this house actually reminds me of the Montgomery household from Pretty Little Liars. I'm going to stop talking about it because I know my last video I built the church, but I made it into the library. It was the Strangerville archive, and I spoke about Pretty Little Liars in that a little bit. I'm not going to go on a ramble like I did in that video, but this house, the inside really reminds me of the Montgomery household from Pretty Little Liars. And it's just a really nice, warm, welcoming house. It's one that it's just got a really nice warm feel. I used a lot of purples and a lot of browns, like a lot of different mixtures of woods as well. And I think I did that because base game modern furniture or just like standard suburban kind of furniture isn't that great in base game, and so I didn't want to use it if I wasn't completely happy with it. And so I just kind of experimented with this new style, and I just absolutely love it. But anyway, moving on from that, as you can kind of see, I'm doing a little bit of landscaping now. And so this house actually took me 5.5 hours to build. Don't ask me how, because I honestly don't know. Like, it felt like it took me like an hour and a half to build this. And when I stopped like recording and I went and I saw how long it was, I was like, how did that actually happen? So I did cut a lot of the landscaping out and just like little things like putting trees down and stuff like that, because before this was like a 30-minute video and I managed to trim it down into 26 minutes without the screenshots. And so I didn't want to make it a really, really long video because I know it could get a little bit, like just a little bit boring, and so I didn't want to make it too much. But everything that I did, which isn't going to be in this video, you'll see in the screenshots anyway, so don't worry about that. But I just didn't want it to be a too long of a video. I know it's probably going to be around 28 minutes or something like that, I don't actually know. But I just didn't want to make it too long, just because I feel like really, really long videos can get really boring and very samey and all that kind of stuff. And I don't really like making really, really long videos. I didn't think this one was going to be a really long video. Like I said, I did not realise it took me that long. But I did have to cut out some bits and bobs just because otherwise you'll be sitting there forever. And yeah. But moving on, we are kind of going into the garden part now. And so I actually did something which I haven't done before, I don't think. So I use the foundations in this house, and then I use a smaller foundation. I don't know how well I'm going to explain this, but I use like a lower foundation, and I wanted to connect it to the higher foundation. I wanted the smaller, like the lower foundation, to have a pool on. So the outside was kind of like a deck, I really wanted this house to be like a really family friendly, welcoming house that everyone could come around and have barbecues and all that kind of stuff. And so I wanted there to be a deck. And so I actually used the terrain manipulation, and I kind of raised it up to a point where then I could put steps in, and it's just kind of like a nice little, you walk out the patio doors. Like I call them French doors, but they're kind of patio doors. I put them down, and then you can kind of just walk out. There's like a nice little barbecue area, and then you can just walk onto like the pool and then walk down into like the little green bit. I did actually put quite a lot of kids activities in the garden. So I put a swing set, I put the monkey bars, and then I put the little toddler pool, because this house has 5 bedrooms. So there's a mum and dad bedroom, there's a teenage boy's bedroom, a teenage girl's bedroom, a child girl bedroom, and then a toddler bedroom as well. And so I wanted something for everyone to kind of have, like everyone in the household can come into the garden and chill out, and there's something for them to do. And so there was like some swing sets for the teenagers, the monkey bars for the child, and then like a little toddler pool for the little toddler, and then just like a barbecue area, and just like just like a sitting area, that kind of stuff for the mum and dad, so they can like come out here and chill out on a nice like summer evening or something like that. And I kind of feel like this family would have a lot of barbecues, so they can invite their friends round, and everyone can, chill out in the garden. The kids can invite their friends round, and just there's loads of activities in the garden and in the house in general. So this house does actually have a garage, but I didn't leave that like part of the footage in because I didn't want this video to be too long. But in there I kind of made it like a garage kind of thing, so like a standard garage. There's some boxes, there's a woodworking table, and then I kind of put some musical items in there because I imagined that the teenage boy was kind of in a band. I wish that we could have bands in The Sims, like I would absolutely love that, but I imagined he had a band, and so he did kind of get a smaller bedroom to his teenage sister. But I imagined that he got the smaller bedroom, but then he kind of has the garage, so it kind of works out, that kind of thing. So I just have a lot of things for your Sims to do in this house and around the house and everywhere in this house. Basically, there's something for your Sims to do for every single member of the family. I just like having loads of different things for your families to do. I don't know, I don't really want to build a house and not really have much in it because I don't really like the loading screen, so I can never be bothered to go anywhere else. And you know, like, I can never be bothered to actually go anywhere, so I like putting as many activity items as I can in my houses, and especially for family houses, because then it just kind of fills it up and just makes it more family friendly and all that kind of stuff. But I am just finishing up the garden now, and I did actually cut it out as well, but I went around and I added some like terrain painting, like it's a kind of stone kind of terrain paint. You see me put some dirt down underneath the swing set and the monkey bars and stuff. But I did actually also add some kind of the stone kind of version of the terrain paint. I added that as well in the garden. I didn't want it to be like too much grass. And then I added some trees around the lot as well, just to kind of make it blend in with the surrounding areas a little bit more. And I didn't want to just have no trees. So there's actually a lot of trees, like more than normal. I don't know why, but there's a lot of trees in this household. I don't normally fill my houses, like the surrounding areas, with trees and stuff, but I did in this house. But anyway, we're now on to the interior. So I'm starting with the kitchen. Don't know why I start with the kitchen. I feel like a lot of people start with the kitchen when they go in, like, into furnishing. Realistically, you'd think that you start with the hallway, but I never do, and I never really see anyone else start with the hallway either. So I don't know, I started with the kitchen. But as you can see, I used the brown cabinets from base game. So with Seasons, we didn't get any cabinets, or counters rather, and I actually realised that we haven't got any counters with any expansion pack, I don't think. We got one with Get to Work, but it's just kind of like a breakfast bar. There isn't actually counters to match with it. And so I kind of had to use the base game ones. But I'm not actually disappointed, because I actually really like these counters, and it kind of made me use them more. And when I do stuff like this, I kind of find objects that I love, and then I think to use them more frequently and all that kind of stuff. But this kitchen is actually really big. So the kitchen kind of flows into kind of like a conservatory. It hasn't got a glass roof, but it's kind of like a conservatory, what you'd kind of use for a conservatory. And it also flows into like the hallway and the dining room. So it's a big, open, flowy kind of kitchen. The downstairs floor plan is very open and flowy and all that kind of stuff. And so this kitchen is very big, but I didn't like cram it with loads and loads of counters, because I don't really like cramming my kitchens with loads of counters, because the Sims don't even use all of them. They use like 3 or 4, so what's the point in doing that? But I am just now moving on into the dining room, and in a minute I actually go back to the kitchen, because when I was doing the windows and the doors and stuff, I completely forgot to put any windows in the kitchen. So you can see me, I've just gone back and I've added 2 windows in the kitchen, and I completely forgot about it. I don't know how. And then I just added some more wall objects to kind of fill out the room, because I felt like there was a lot of plain empty wall space. And then now I'm going back to the dining room. I realised, because I went to go and put curtains in the dining room, and I was thinking I didn't put any curtains or blinds in the kitchen, and then I kind of realised that I didn't put any windows in. But they've got windows now. Your Sims can wash their dishes, even though they normally go to the bathroom, but that's besides the point. They can wash their dishes in the kitchen sink and look out the window, because whenever I do kitchen sinks, I always put a window in front of them, so your Sims can look out the window, even though they don't. Like, your Sims can't even look out windows, I don't think. In The Sims 3 or The Sims 2, I always get them mixed up. You could actually look into other people's windows. And I was quite, like, annoyed that we don't have that. I know that sounds really strange, but I was quite annoyed that we didn't have that in The Sims 4, because my Sims used to be so scandalous in The Sims 3 and Sims 2. I can't remember which one it was, but you used to be able to look out windows and all that kind of stuff. I think you can do it in City Living, in one of the apartments. You can kind of, like, admire the view and stuff like that. But that's besides the point. Anyway, we are now moving on and doing the lounge room. So the lounge is located on the left-hand side of the house. And I realised this. I always put the lounge in the same location. Like, in all my floor plans, the lounge always seems to be in this side of the house, like at the back on the left. I don't know why I do this, but it's just kind of what I always go for, and I don't know why. Maybe because whenever I do like hallways and stuff, I always have a bathroom next to the front door, or try to have a bathroom next to the front door. And it just always works out that the lounge room is right by like the back garden and like at the back. And I don't know why, but I noticed it when I was building this, and I thought it was quite funny how I always, without realising, do the lounge in kind of like a similar area. Obviously they're not always the same sizes and shapes and stuff, but I always tend to put my lounges, or whatever you call them, living rooms or sitting rooms. I don't know what the American term is. I call them a lounge. But yeah, anyway, I always put them at the back of the house in like this little corner. But we are doing like a little bookcase area, and I didn't know which wood to use for these because I use the sofas from Seasons, but they've got a different kind of wood to these bookcases. So I kind of sat there for a minute and was kind of like trying to decide. But in the end, I decided to go in the darker wood because I thought it looked a lot nicer. And I'm really happy that I chose this house to be a medium wall height, because then I could use these bookcases, because that's an annoying thing about The Sims. Like, they brought out these amazing bookcases, but we can only have them in one height, and it's really annoying. But yeah, I'm just going to finish up this room, and I add just some bits and bobs, you know, like a little decoration box from Seasons, so they can put up some decorations when it comes to like the holiday seasons and just stuff like that. I imagined that the people that live in the house, like the parents and maybe writers or something like that. I've done a writer's apartment before, and I felt like a kind of similar kind of theme when I do these kind of houses. I don't know, I put a typing machine, what's it called, like a typewriter. I put one of them in the lounge room as kind of like a statue, like a thing to admire. And I don't know, when I put that down, I kind of thought maybe the people that live here were writers. I normally try and give my houses backstories, but I didn't really have one, apart from that the family is a really outgoing family who love to host barbecues and stuff like that. So maybe this family is writers who love social events. Let's just go with that. I don't really know. I kind of have a backstory for the teenage boy, but I don't have any like similar backstories, like an in-depth story for anyone else. But moving on from that, I'm kind of just doing this little conservatory kind of room. So this does lead out into the back garden. There is some French doors. And in here, I wanted it to kind of be like a social room. So there's a little bar area, there's the piano, there's just some bits and bobs. There's like a sofa and the painting easel kind of thing, in case someone likes painting in this house. Maybe the daughter really likes painting, and so you can come in here. There's a lot of light that comes in because I did these big windows, and so yeah, maybe it was just like a little add-on from the house. Like, it wasn't originally here, but they kind of just added it on just to, because they can, because there was a lot of space or something like that, I don't know. But anyway, now I am moving on into the hallway, and so I don't know why, but I always tend to do hallways last, or like second from last. At this point in time, I hadn't actually done the bathroom because I decided to show the upstairs, or one of the upstairs bathrooms being furnished, because this house has 3 bathrooms and 5 bedrooms, and so I wanted to show the bigger one being furnished, and the smaller one is on the downstairs, and so I kind of decided to leave that, and so just show you the hallway. But I just kind of put loads of different items in here, like some chest tables and just little bits and bobs. And I don't actually show the upstairs hallway being furnished, but it's very similar items. I think there's just maybe the exact same sofa that I used downstairs and upstairs, and just it's very similar to the downstairs one, so I didn't really feel the need to show that one because it was a little bit repetitive. But now I am moving on into the upstairs bathroom, so I kind of imagine that this would kind of be the master bathroom. This would be the master bathroom. So like I said, there is 3 other bathrooms in this house, but this is the slightly bigger one by 1 tile, and so I decided to show this one because you kind of get the full effect like of what's going to go in the other ones. The other one downstairs, it has either a bath or a shower. I cannot remember which one it is, but the 2 upstairs both have showers and baths, but I can't remember if I put a bath or a shower in the downstairs one, so I can't actually remember. But there's at least 3 toilets in this house and 3 sinks and all that kind of stuff. But now I am moving on to the mum and dad's bedroom. So I actually used the bed from Seasons, obviously because I was using the Seasons expansion pack, but I never really tend to go for this one, especially in this colour. If I ever use this bed, I always use it in the purple swatch, and I never really appreciated this kind of swatch. I actually really like this bed. It's kind of like a really plush and luxury kind of bed, and I use this one and it matched with the wallpaper absolutely perfectly. And I'm just going in now and putting some little ottomans below the window, just because I wanted it to be a really warm, welcoming room that you could go and like read a book or something like that down here. But I am just going ahead and just kind of cluttering up the, the dresser, just with loads of just like books and stuff like that. Like I said, I imagine the Sims would want to read a book and all that kind of stuff in this house, and so I put a lot of picture frames and a lot of books and just a lot of family related objects, because I wanted it to feel like a family house, and I wanted the mum and dad's bedroom to kind of have like a warm, welcoming feel that all of the Sims could come into and just chill out in, even though they probably won't because they've got their own bedrooms. But I just wanted to have a nice, warm, welcoming feel in this bedroom. but I am just finishing it up now and just putting some plants and some rugs and just making the final finishing touches on this room. And now I'm actually moving on into the teenage boy's bedroom. So like I said, I kind of imagined he was the only one that I really gave a backstory to. And so I imagined that he was a musician and he loved reading and science and all that kind of stuff. And so this is his room. I actually used similar wallpaper to the one that's in the hallway, but like it's a similar swatch, but it's not actually the same wallpaper. It's a very like dark room tucked away. I wasn't actually going to make this room part of the house. I was just kind of leave it because I wanted this like pop out bit for the roofing, but I wasn't actually thinking when I was doing it that this was going to be a bedroom. But I did decide to make it into the teenage boy's bedroom, and I really like this bedroom. I would say it's my favourite one in the house, but I think the teenage daughter's bedroom comes first and this is a close second. But I never really do teenage boys rooms like this. I always kind of decorate teenage boys bedrooms to be more on the active kind of side, but I imagine that this sim isn't. He just really likes reading and music and just all that kind of stuff. I didn't really imagine him to be a very sporty kind of person. Obviously you don't have to stick with that. You can make this sim who lives in this room whoever you want them to be, but that's just kind of what I imagined. But I am just finishing up this room, and I do this kind of little TV area, and throughout the whole bedrooms I put a lot of these shelves just to kind of have like another surface. And I like it in this room because I kind of added like a fish bowl and just some little bits and bobs like photo frames, books, like creams and lotions and all that kind of stuff. And then I did actually finish this room up by adding some dirty washing and stuff like that. Maybe he's a teenage boy, so he might not want to do his washing and doesn't really put his clothes away or anything like that. But I am now moving on into the child's bedroom. So this bedroom was meant to be for a child who's a little girl. Obviously you can make it for whoever you want it to be, but that's just kind of what I envisioned when I was decorating it. So it's got a lot of peachy colours and it's a really bright kind of bedroom. There's a lot of colourful colours and whites and peaches, and it's just very spring. I imagine that this little girl's favourite season is probably spring or something like that. I did actually use some wall decorations which we got with seasons, which I normally don't go for, but then again normally I just kind of miss a lot of stuff when you have the packs all in all. You kind of miss some bits and bobs, and so I actually used these wall decorations that we've got with the seasons pack, and they're perfect for a child's bedroom. I do not know why I've never used them before, but I actually used them in the teenage daughter's bedroom as well because I absolutely loved them. I kind of put them down, then I was kind of a little bit obsessed with them, so I wanted to use them more, and so I did throughout the rest of the teenage girl's bedroom. But I'm just finishing this bedroom up now. I'm adding some more little wall decorations, what we've got with seasons. There's just some bits and bobs, just some photo frames and all that kind of stuff. But now I am moving on into the teenage girl's bedroom. So this bedroom is my favourite of them all. I absolutely love this bedroom. I did a lot of stuff which I've never thought to do in this bedroom. So the way that I collided like some wall objects with the TV, and I just absolutely love this bedroom, and it's definitely my favourite one in the house. And so I used the bed that we got from Seasons and the same dresser and all that kind of stuff. She has a very white and purpley kind of pink bedroom. I didn't want to give her like darker furniture. I feel like she'd want nice bright white kind of furniture, so there's a lot of white furniture in this room. But you can kind of see I've just kind of done the little dresser area there, and I just cluttered it up with some perfumes and some nail bits, and I added these wall decorations behind the TV, and I thought it looked so cool. I've never done that before, and we got these wall decorations with Seasons, and honestly I never actually knew that they came in that many swatches. I think because the picture of that object in the build and buy is kind of like a Christmassy one, I always just like assumed that there wasn't any cool swatches, so I never really looked through them. But when I was going through it, I just kind of found that swatch and I thought it was absolutely beautiful. And I did also just add the same flowers which I add in the child's bedroom into this bedroom. I kind of feel like now I've discovered them, I'm going to be using them a lot because they're just absolutely beautiful and I love them, and they come in so many cool swatches. And a lot of the stuff that we got with Seasons, like wall decorations, are actually so lovely. So I just placed some kind of banner ones that we also got with Seasons as kind of like a seasonal thing to like hang on your walls and stuff, and they come in this really nice kind of pastely kind of swatch, and they're so beautiful, and I added them below the flowers, and I just thought it looked really nice. But I am just finishing off that section of the room by the window. I did a windowsill like I did in the teenage boys' bedroom, and I just think it brings a room together because it looks more realistic, and it's just a little bit more realism. I love realism in my builds and all that kind of stuff, and so I absolutely love that. And now I'm just moving on and doing like a little desk kind of study area, and I actually added this, I think it's like a fashion pegboard or something, and we got it in a free update. I haven't actually played with it because I haven't actually used the style influencer or whatever it's called, the career that we got in a free update. We got this pegboard, and I decided to use it as kind of like a place for her to put all of her pictures of her friends and maybe some quotes or maybe her like to-do list and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was really like, you kind of need one of them above your desk to be like organized and stuff, and so that's kind of like where she puts all of her to-do lists and all of her photos of her friends, and I just really liked that. I thought it was a really cool little idea. I actually saw it on Twitter a little while ago, so I'm not going to take credit for that one. So I saw someone put a picture up and they kind of used it, and so I thought it was a really cool idea, and so I put it in this build, but I'm not going to claim it as my own idea because I did not think of that. But now I'm moving on to the last and final bedroom. So this is the toddler's bedroom, and I kind of decorated this room to be for a little toddler girl. You can make it for either or, but that's just kind of what I had in mind when I was doing this. And I really like this bedroom because I put a lot of objects that kind of can help her when she grows up. Not even helps her, just kind of shows growth in her age, if that makes any sense. So I put like a nice little money box and different kind of size of toddler shoes and a little height thing, and I just thought it was really nice and just really accurate for a room when you're growing up, because you kind of like mark your head on a wall or whatever. That's what I did when I was growing up. I didn't actually have one of them fancy things. I just used to like mark my height on a wall in my bedroom. But yeah, besides the point. Anyway, we're now getting to the end of this video. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me build this space game and seasons house. And as always, if you do like my content, then please subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next speed building video. Bye guys.